Hello? Hello?
Where my girls at?
Okay.
Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Hello? Hello? It's Gloria. Hello? Hi, everybody. Hey. Yes, I'm on the air. Well, that's exciting. It's Gloria Mayfield Banks, and I'm so excited to be on the air because we just finished Christmas and we're on to New Year. So the first thing I want to do is I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa. You guys, Happy Kwanzaa. We're all smiling because we got a lot to celebrate and a lot to be cautious about. We're going to be talking about the New Year's resolution, and we hope that you call in because this is We Got Issues. We got issues on 9:10 a.m., the Superstation out of Detroit, WFDF, and we're so excited to be here with you. We're so excited to enter the new year. We're so excited to end this year strong, and we are so thrilled that we had such a good time celebrating all the blessings. Super grateful over the holiday. Loved all the pictures. Oh my gosh, Instagram, fire, Facebook, YouTube, everything was fired up. Everything was fired up with all the new stuff that was going on. So we're so excited. You might be listening to us on YouTube. You might be listening to us on Facebook. You might be listening to us on iHeartRadio. You might be tuning in through the forceoffriendship.com website, listening in and tuning in to what we're talking about because the Force of Friendship are here over 30 years. Messy, classy, never lazy. Sometimes we say that, but that is not the truth. I've never seen us lazy. Funny, yes. Crazy, absolutely. But let's go to the girlfriends and see what's going on. First, I want to tell you here in the Baltimore area, it's 55 degrees. It was crazy good, crazy good. I'm so excited for the warm weather. However, one of the things that I've learned We Got Issues. It's the warm weather that I'm experiencing and loving it. And loving is coming from climate change. So I'm concerned about the climate change that is bringing, but I truly am loving no snow. And I know my girl Chris was in the snow today. So I'm going down to Detroit where there's snow happening. Talk to us, Chris. How are you doing? Happy holidays. Happy holidays. And that yellow is fabulous. First, let me say this. Y'all, if you're not following her, you need to follow all of us. But Crisette put a post up today with her aunt that was 91, her uncle 94, standing up strong, looking absolutely gorgeous. Of course, they are totally have become my role model. So what's going on, Chris? What's going on?
Well, happy holidays, everybody. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Happy New Year. Coming in a few days. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. Today, you guys, we are not accustomed to having no snow on the ground for Christmas, and of course, a few days after Christmas, here comes the snow. Here comes the snow, and so yeah, my dad and I were out today and yeah, got caught up in the snow, but it's all good. It's still pretty warm outside. I don't know how long it's going to stick, but it is so beautiful when it comes down. It really, really is. And so it looked like Christmas, and so excited about that. And you are absolutely right, Gloria. I had an opportunity to go over to my aunt's house today, and she is the last living sibling of my mother. There were 9 of them.
Wow.
And she is the last, yes, she's the last one, 91 years old. And, you know, I would love going to her house because every time she saw me, she said, oh, goodness, just like Ann. You look just like Ann, who was, of course, my mother. I know I look just like. It was a joy to see her on today, strong at 9. And my uncle, her husband, when I tell you 94 years old, same age as my dad, but you talking about sharp, sharp as a whip, still driving. I said, I don't
No
know
way.
how you feel. Let me know when
No
you're on
way.
the road. So I will not be on the road. Yes. Still driving, Gloria. Still
That's
driving.
amazing.
Absolutely. And it is amazing. So it was a blessing being able to go spend some time and just be reminded of when teenager, going over to my aunt's house and, and it's so funny at that age. And Gloria, I know you can relate to this. Their house looked exactly like their house looked when I was a teenager, when I was coming up. I looked at tape. I said, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that.
Really,
so
Crisette?
It was really like going down memory lane. I remember you were saying when after your mother had passed and you went to your mom's house, you saw some of everything that reminded you of when you guys were growing up. So it was really a beautiful day on today to be with her and to just see them, living life, feeling good. So it's all
Chris,
good.
what birth order was she? What was your mother and what was your aunt?
Okay, so let's see, it was 9 of them. And so my aunt was probably I think she was number 7. So she probably had 2 that were younger than her. And my mother, I think birth order, she was number 4.
Wow.
4. So
wow. I mean, I'm telling you, I am so enthralled with the fact that your mother was a big family. You're from a big family. Your husband's from a big family. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I'm going to go over to Sabrina, looking flat, nice sombrero, or what do you call it?
Chris.
Fedora.
So Chris, it kind of looks like the one she gave away. It kind of looked like the one she gave away.
And
we told her don't get her head away, but
Fedora. I'm sorry.
That's
it. Fedora. Correct word.
All good, just trying to stay warm, my sisters, trying to stay warm, okay? You look out, and it's always some white stuff out there. So I'm just trying to stay warm. When I tell y'all, I've never had so many winter clothes, hats, boots, scarves, socks, onesie, pajamas in my whole life. But counting my blessings, had a beautiful Christmas. And, this is a work week. When you're an entrepreneur, like a lot of my friends, corporate, they do other things. And so they're still off this week. So they're like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, girl, I'm working. We back to work over here. And so just kind of easing, kind of holidaying it because Quincy's still here and but also back to work. So excited about ushering the old year out and the new year in. We've had a good break on the radio, so I'm glad to be back on the station with you women. Yes. Yes. To our tribe. Thank you for joining us. I know you were like, where are them sisters? Where are my girls at? Where are they? Are they ever coming back? But we are here. We are here. I got a couple of calls, a couple of texts come out. Are y'all done till the new year or what's going on? So we are here. Had a good few days off, but we missed our tribe. Caterina, how are you?
Yes.
I am doing good. I'm doing so good. I'm reaching over here because 2 things that I just did today, y'all. I just sent in, Chris, speaking about family, I just sent in my African ancestry and my ancestry.com swab and all that stuff. One, you got to go in the cheek and the other one, you got to use saliva. So that just went in the mail. And it's just going to be, it's exciting. And then, except for when I think about Gloria say she don't care. She don't care where she came from. I want to know. I want to know my people. So I just, it's exciting. That is really cool. And Gloria, when you were talking about climate change, I still haven't watched Playbook. So I got to put that on I got to get Playbook in my, to
on
watch.
The list. Add it on the list.
But Planet Earth, y'all, Planet Earth is beautiful on Netflix. And we got a new HD TV. You want to watch one of those things that has all the colors and all that stuff on there. And this new, seeing just I don't know how somebody can watch something like that and not think there's a God and not be concerned about climate change. But I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. And some of the most, the saddest things are seeing what happens in Antarctica with the polar bears and with the seals that literally there's no ice. So they're having to climb up mountains. These 2-ton seals are climbing up mountains and they're falling off the rock into the ocean and dying because there's no ice. There's no ice for them to lay on. There's not, they normally, if you come to San Francisco, you just see those seals. They're just sitting on top of each other. There's not enough ice. So they're literally fighting and killing each other for space, real estate, because the real estate is so limited for them. It's really, really, really sad. That's a whole show. We need somebody else to come on and talk about it. So
I mean, because it's
one
real.
more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing I was just going to say, we could do a whole show on this, but y'all, I got this journal. It's a 5-year journal. I've never done this before. I'm not a big journaler. I think Sabrina is the biggest writer of all of us, but have you guys ever done this? Every day has so like today is December 28th. And so you write down what you did December 28th, 2021, December 28th, 2022, December 28th, 2023. So you can go back and see where you were a year,
That's
5
nice.
years on the same day. It's really cool. So I've been doing it in January, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like.
What you mean you've been
just
doing
to
it in
be-
January? We're not in January yet.
No, I've been doing it in December. I'm sorry. I've been doing it in December. And
Okay, I was like, come on, just
I know. So I've been doing it in December, but it's pretty cool that I think Tony Robbins talked about it. And so it's a 5-year journal. You just keep track. And so to see how far you came a year ago, that exact day, pretty cool.
Right.
So
right.
since
Very
we're talking about
interesting.
resolutions today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get the book.
Yep.
We'll
I
get the book.
ordered it from Amazon. I ordered it from Amazon, but you know what? I was thinking this would be a really amazing thing for girlfriends to do because it's just exciting. I can't wait to see where I am this same time next year. Okay, it's gonna be
Me
some
too.
progress. up
Me
here.
too.
Yeah, and the country.
That leads us
okay,
good into
and the
this
country.
Huh?
Yeah, I said and the country, not just me, but us. Right?
Right.
We all hope.
Right.
We all in
Right.
a whole new
Right.
place.
Right.
Yeah.
That will be interesting. Before we go to break, y'all, I want to ask y'all a question. I want to ask you a question. So I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were telling me that they were not vaccinated. So I said, okay, I need a 1-minute commercial to tell you, for you to tell me why you're not vaccinated, and for me to tell you why. Because we didn't call to talk about that. But what is your major argument? What's your major argument? Like, let me just repeat one of them that I heard Sabrina say what she said. Vaccination or die. Just vaccination or die. Vaccination or die. But when you run into people who are not vaccinated, what's your major passion to them?
It's this. I
Mine,
think
Gloria,
they're selfish.
is that there are so many things that they will miss out on because while they're choosing not to get vaccinated, there are choices that those of us that are vaccinated are choosing. And so I just think the time that they're missing with their family, for those that say, if you're not vaccinated, you can't be in my space or come over, those are times and memories they'll never get back. So is it worth missing out on that time with your family because you're making the decision not to get vaccinated? So I think, to me, that's a big part of it for me.
That's interesting. Okay, so when someone's talking to you, that's what you're bringing to their attention. Okay, that's good. Good. What were you going to say, Sabrina?
I just, it's always been, what about somebody else? What about your grandmother? What about your grandfather? What about your mother? What about other people in your space, in your environment, your life? If do you care about anybody else other than yourself? So that's my big thing. It's just not about you. It's about others.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come
I
back
wanna
to
say
that. We're going to
something
come back
after
to
the
a little
break.
bit of that. Yeah, a little bit after the break, because I hear the music playing. It sounds like we got to go to a break at 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. about some red bottoms. I didn't get any red bottoms for Christmas. I didn't get no red bottoms for Christmas. However, okay, so Caterina, what do you say to people when they tell you they're not vaccinated? What do you say?
Well, one of the things I was saying is when they have symptoms, they go to the same doctor that told them to get vaccinated and have them give them medication, which is interesting. But my girlfriend posted this and she said, when people ask you, say they're not getting vaccinated, a lot of times they say they don't know what's in it. It hasn't been approved. And she said, she asked them, do you know what's in the 11 secret herbs at KFC? Do you know what's in that ibuprofen? Do you know what's in that tattoo? Do you know what's in the soap, the shampoo? I mean, she just went on and on and on. Do you know what's in the measles, mumps or rubella or polio or chickenpox or hepatitis, all that stuff? I mean, I'm not saying that we should be blind. I'm not saying we shouldn't be wise, but come on now. Then they're going to go home and eat some chitlins. I mean, are you kidding me? So I'm just saying at some point you have to believe the doctors because I don't know what's in that Tylenol or,
Right.
So
Right.
just interesting.
You
But
know what I
what we
say to them
cannot
from-
deny is the stats.
Right. You can't deny the stats. And when I'm telling you, I thought it was 200,000. It went up to, then I heard a statistic today that yesterday it was 500,000. Did y'all hear that?
500,000 what?
Yeah, people got infected yesterday. Now I heard 200,000, then I heard 500,000. I heard it's a lot. That's all I know. It's a whole
It's a lot. No, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
For real. I mean,
And there's a lot of
like-
people. I know that my assistant right now has COVID, but she says I haven't left the house. She was on a plane a week and a half ago. She ain't left the house. And I said, well, why don't you get COVID tested? She said, for what? That requires me to leave the house. So that just lets me know it's her and her husband. They have mild symptoms. They're vaccinated, but she's not going to get tested. So
Well, how does she know she has it?
There's a lot. She doesn't say that she has it, but I'm telling you, the symptoms she's telling me, I don't know for sure, but there's probably a lot of people that just don't get tested.
Right, for
Yeah,
sure.
'cause they know
And
they
you
can't
know
find
what?
it.
At home, you can't find the test, even if you do go to Walgreens. Now they don't have any tests. So unless you want to go stand in line with the other people that have COVID to get
Oh, my
tested,
goodness.
you
What a
might not
mess.
know.
And you know what? I'm finding too that a lot of my phone, I'm starting to get more texts about people with COVID, and a lot of it is family members, giving it to family members. And it's so many people getting it now that you're almost resolving yourself to, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, but thankfully I'm vaccinated and boosted or whatever. And for the most part, at least the messages I'm getting, it's very mild, not a whole lot. Some of them didn't even know they had it, but they were exposed to it. So, when you look at this Omicron, how contagious it is, unless you just gonna lock yourself in the house and do absolutely nothing. I mean, you got people that's wearing masks and they're doing everything they're supposed to do. I don't know. I don't know if we can escape it. Maybe some will, but I just think at some point we're going to get it.
Well,
I
That's
just
what
don't
I'm
want to
feeling.
speak that, but I know, Chris, I'm right there with you, but I just could not bring my mouth to say that today. I was thinking it, but I don't want to say it. But honestly, I was listening to the report today, and the people were sounding crazy. Oh, if you're vaccinated, stay in 5 days. If you're unvaccinated, stay in 10 days. Well, if you feel a little symptom, you can still go outside and go back to work. I was like, this is out of control. The whole thing is out of control now.
Yep.
it is out of control.
We have a friend, works for Nordstrom, was tested positive, and they called her back to work because her symptoms were light and they needed her. And the states are allowing it.
Wow.
My one question, Gloria, your cousin, is it your cousin, the doctor who came on the show and talked about it?
Betsy.
One of my real questions that I don't hear people talking about is that antibody test. One of the things I would like to know honestly, if I were going to go be in get on a plane, be in a crowd or something, I feel like maybe at least I'd want to get my antibodies checked. If I know my antibodies are boosted and up there, if you are if the percentage of chances if you getting it has gone up tremendously. But if I knew that a family member's antibodies were really low, because it's not equal, just because you got the booster, that doesn't mean everybody's antibodies are equal if you got it on the same day. So
Right.
I don't know the science behind that, but I would like to know.
Yeah, I want to know about that too, because I sort of think, when I had the flu 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure it wasn't COVID. The reason I say this because they say when you have Omicron, no, seriously, they say when you have Omicron, you don't know how to say it, that you don't necessarily lose your taste and you don't necessarily lose your smell. And I was really sick. And then when I went to the doctor, he said to me, "Did you take a test?" I said, "Yes." And it came out negative. And I was positive. I was like, "No, it's negative. I don't have it." He said, "Well, number one, you took a home test. And number two, you could still have had COVID and you'll never know. You'll never know." Now, I didn't ask him about the antibody test, but he said, "You might have had it and you never know." And I'm still coughing. Yesterday, I took some Thermoflu, and it's been a minute. So I don't know. But maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so before we go into New Year's resolution, here's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about Christmas, because we all had our Christmases. What did you love the most? And if there was one thing that you would change about your Christmas, what would it be? What was the best part of your Christmas? Let's lift it up. And what was something you might change if you're going to change something about yourself? Like, do you have a habit or a tradition or something you wish you would have done better that you didn't do this year, that you're going to make sure that you're going to get the journal, you're going to go back a couple of days and say, "This is what I did on December 25th, and this is what I'm going to make sure I don't do next year"? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
You know what?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'm so happy that I was healthy, that I didn't have COVID on Christmas. Seriously, I was so grateful, because I talked to so many people who were sick, so many people who couldn't be with family members because of COVID. And I just walked around saying, "God, thank you." I was so paranoid 2 to 3 days before Christmas. Like, I just don't want to be sick on Christmas. I don't want to be sick on Christmas.
Wow.
I was just anxious and had anxiety. I didn't want to be sick on Christmas. And so this thing has got me kind of nervous. It's like every time I start to sniffle, it's like, is this it? Is this it? So it's just unsettling. It's unsettling.
Sabrina,
why are you laughing, Gloria? Why are you laughing?
Because your facial expression is this like creeping in your house.
You're scared of yourself. You're scared of yourself right now.
It's the truth.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like,
just so unsettling.
my throat. Is that my throat?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And then you hear people who've had it, and they give you the symptoms, and then you're like, I mean, it's just crazy right now. Just the feeling like, are you going to get it? How are you going to feel? And then probably the thing that I would change, I mean, I absolutely did not like not having all my kids home for Christmas. It's the first time ever. I was trying to be a big girl, saying, "It's okay, it's okay."
It's
Kenny
your first
was really
time?
having first time ever that everybody was not home.
Wow.
And so it was very different, very quiet. And Kenny was I was giving him a pep talk. Well, you know what? They're 27 now. They're 23 now, and they've got lives. And, I was trying to give him a pep talk, and I'd go in my room and sulk, So that's probably what I would change, is having all my children home. But other than that, counting great blessings. So that's my story.
That's good. Who else?
I reached and grabbed my journal, honestly, because I wrote that in here. I mean, the thing that I loved about it is it was cozy, family. It was good. The food was good. Everything was good. And the thing I wrote that I would like to do differently, in addition to having my seeing family, that is challenging. That is one thing. Being in Chicago, we see family, snow, the whole thing. But I wrote down, make a conscious effort to create specific memories to Christmas, because our Christmas was amazing, but it was eating and watching movies, which in a way can be any other Saturday. So there's just certain things I would like to do that are Christmas Eve and Christmas traditions that I know some big families do. And in a small family, it's easy to just, kind of just be cozy around a Yuletide fire. Okay. So that's what I wrote down for next year. I don't know what that looks like.
Did you think about what tradition you'd like to have? Did you think about what tradition you'd like to have?
I mean, I don't know if it's games. One thing that we did is just certain Christmas movies you watch, certain things that you do that make it feel like Christmas. You know, we woke up and watched a wonderful Christmas service. That was beautiful. Like singing carols. I know that sounds really corny, but just sitting with the family and singing Silent Night, as the church service we were watching all had candles. I mean, it brought tears to my eyes. It makes it like I'll remember that next year. But don't ask me what movies we watched because I can't remember that. They were good, but it's like, you know, on to the next.
Yeah. Okay, Crisette.
Well, you know what? Our Christmas was a little different this year. A lot of my nieces and nephews, they weren't there, so we were missing them because, you know, a lot of our, you know, young people are choosing not to get vaccinated, and everybody that came had to be vaccinated. So that made it a different because you definitely, you know, everybody didn't want to say you can't show up, but you kind of had to say, you know, everybody that's coming has to be vaccinated. So that's something that I would change would be, I'm just hoping that we will get back to a place where it's not about the vaccination. Don't know if that's going to happen. Pray that it does. Something that we did different this year.
I got a question. Did that create any dissension with the family, the haves and the have-nots, the discussion?
Okay, that's a good point. We're going to come right back to that. The haves and the haves not, because then we're going to go into the new year for sure. But we're going through Christmas first. And you're listening to the family of Christmas with We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. We're so excited to be with you 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We'll see you right after the break. I didn't think about that one. The haves and the have-not. The haves, the vaccination, and the haves, not the vaccination. We're still talking about it. Okay, so Sabrina, what was your question to Crisette? What was your question to Chris?
Well, Chris was just saying that the younger generation, she didn't get to see some of her nieces and nephews, little cousins, because her family rule was you had to be vaccinated to come into the house. For one, that's a hard stand because so many families did not make that hard call. And so, Crisette, was that a hard call for you guys? How was that received by the family?
You know what? It really was kind of a hard call, but all of my sisters were there. Probably only had it. Yeah, I did have some nieces and nephews that come, especially the younger ones, because their parent was not vaccinated. So I mean, I haven't heard any backlash. Of course, you call them afterwards, tell them that they were missing. We definitely want to get together soon. So I haven't now, privately, are they having some conversations? I don't know, but we haven't heard anybody that was disgruntled about it. And then the other thing that we did differently, we totally did a different menu this year.
Really?
We didn't stick with we didn't stick with the traditional, mac and cheese, turkey and dressing. I mean, I was talking to my younger sister, and I was like, I'm kind of tired of that. We have Thanksgiving and then we kind of repeat the same kind of menu around Christmas. So we totally went different this year, which was, it was definitely a different menu, something we've never done had we not. Let's just do something totally different. I think that's something that I would like to continue to do, is to experience different foods and not just necessarily stick with what the same old, the usual is. And of course, I did make some of the usual things to have at the house, but for our big family dinner, it was totally different. I mean, we did sweet and sour meatballs, jerk chicken. What else did we do? We did a different kind of bean with potatoes. So it was definitely different.
Was it good?
Shrimp fried
really good?
chicken. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
So that was different for us.
It was good. That wasn't, girl, that was delicious. But okay, we'll take it. We will take it for sure. We'll take it for sure. We'll take it for sure. You know what? And I want to say this too, because my mother-in-law's here and she's 92 years old. Where other people would have some pushback, you don't have a lot of pushback when you have a senior citizen there. It's just something about, they're not willing to push it. So if you say, my father's here or my mother-in-law's here, they're like, okay, we got you. They're more concerned. It's an easier situation for sure. Mm-hmm. I thought our Christmas was great. My sister came down with my nephews. They came down, and it wasn't different because there's no little kids. There's a big difference when you have a whole lot of little kids that, sneak up at 5 o'clock. My son said, Eli woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. Ready. They told you have to go back to sleep. So he laid down till 5 o'clock. I mean, they were like ready. So you can imagine, we can all remember what it was like when they would just, come on. You're like, no, come on. 5 o'clock in the morning, they rip across everything, then get cranky by about 2 o'clock. So we had a real good time, FaceTime and everything. I think that's a tradition I love. I love FaceTiming everybody on Christmas for those who were not together with. That was a big fun, but it really does make a difference. Makes a difference. Okay, so now we're going to go to last week, which was Christmas, into this week coming up, which is New Year's resolution. Now, I have one nephew who says to me all the time, I'm not setting over New Year's resolution. If it was that important to me, I would have said it yesterday. I would have said it last week. Well, I'm going to say it on January 1st. I mean, I look at him, I'm like, you are Debbie Downer for real. Like, just be Debbie Downer for real. Like, what is your dang gone resolution? I mean, he gets his long explanation. But here's the interesting thing, y'all. Listen. New Year's resolution started 4,000 years ago. Can you believe that? 4,000 years ago in Babylon, wherever that is. Babylon started it. And that's when they would crown a new king. And they started in 46 BC. Emperor Julius Caesar included it. But that's when Janus was the name of the month at that time. That's when he started January as the 1st of January. And Janus had two faces. He had one side of his face looked to last year, and the other side of his face looked to the forward. Now we know we don't ever talk about that. All we care about is our New Year's resolution that starts on the 1st. Okay, so here's the guess. How many people set a New Year's resolution? What's your guess on the percentage of people who set a New Year's resolution? What's your guess?
35%.
Okay, 35. What else? What else I heard?
I said 40. I bet it used to be 60, but I bet it's down to 40.
50%.
Okay. Well, it's 40%. That's pretty interesting. 40% in the United States, only 22% in the UK. Interesting. Because back in the day, they said if you made a promise on January 1st and you did not keep it, the gods did not look favorably on you. And if you did keep it, the gods would think favorably on you. So, we would really be in trouble, y'all. Y'all know we would be in trouble because I don't know about y'all, but I don't remember the New Year's resolution.
So maybe wouldn't
Okay,
happen.
so don't even remember it. Okay, so what do you guys hear people talk about New Year's resolution, or have you decided what your New Year's resolution is going to be? And I'm sure many of us did. And if you're in the chat talking to us on Facebook, on YouTube, we want to hear from you, or you can call in and tell us about your New Year's resolution. Like, what are some of the things that you know for a fact you want to do in this new year that you haven't done yet, or that you want to have as your New Year's resolution? Girlfriends, what's your thought? Oh, wait a minute. Go ahead, Kevin Burr. He texted me. He said Babylon is an ancient civilization that was located, which is now Iraq. Oh, we love that. Thank you so much. It was Iraq was Babylon. Okay, see?
Wow.
Iraq. Very good. I'm glad I can say Babylon and Iraq. Exactly. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, so
Gloria, one of the simple things, I wrote it in my journal, is having I don't like the term just date night because, I want to, but just carving out a specific time that we really try to keep it sacred for us to hang out. It's easy, especially in this virtual streets out here. It's easy to have, I'm a night person, Anthony's a morning person, and my girlfriends know that. And so it's easy to, cross each other. And so that's one of the things. Right. Wednesday is going to be our day. Wednesday.
Okay, so why don't you like the term date night?
What'd you say? Why don't I like what?
The term date night.
I don't mind date night, but it doesn't have, we don't have to go out. It's just, I don't know. I guess, that's what I'm calling it because I don't have a better term. So,
okay.
But yeah, Wednesday. I know some people do Friday, Saturday, but I just want to do Wednesday. We always do something on the weekend, but trying to have it be special. So
okay, that's a special Wednesday. We're gonna hold it to you. We're gonna borrow your journal and write in your journal and make sure on Wednesdays you do something with your man every Wednesday. And we're gonna ask you, did you do it early, which crouches it on his time, or did you do it late that crouches it on your time? Okay, who else? Who has one? Who else? And if you don't have one, you have to make one up because we're on the radio.
What was the question, Gloria? You're asking, do we have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, no. Do you have a New Year's resolution? Are you going to set a New Year's resolution? No, are you in the 60% or the 40%?
Definitely the 40%. I don't set resolutions, and you're not going to make me start to set them, okay? So,
okay, Debbie Downer. Debbie Downer. It's going to be Debbie Downer today.
No, because I don't want to be cast. What they say that in the olden days, if you didn't hold your resolution, you were looked down upon. And so I don't want to set myself up for that failure. So how about I definitely have thoughts about the new year. Definitely want to get better in some areas. But I don't know. I don't like the word New Year's resolution. I'm kind of like your nephew. If it was that important to me, why wouldn't I have talked about it before the day? So for years, I just have never been one to say my New Year's resolution is X, Y, and Z. Definitely some thoughts and some reflections, but not necessarily a resolution.
Do you think then that you think about what you want to do because it's the new year? You just decide at the beginning you're not going to stick to it?
No. No. I think the end of the year is definitely a reflection time, a time when you look back, a time when you're thinking about moving forward, how to become better. So I don't know what you call that, but I'm not a big resolution person, but I definitely will write some things. I just talked to Kenny. I said, baby, we got to set aside some time to think about our new year and what we want to do and create some plans. And so we definitely said we're going to carve out some time together to think about what we, some things we want to do for the new year. Yeah.
That's good. What about
those
you?
are resolutions? That's resolutions.
Right. Thank you, Caterina. Thank you.
There
Don't
no
look at it because she'll
resolution.
make you roll your eyes.
No
She'll make you roll your eyes.
No.
Well, I kind of similar to Sabrina from the standpoint of just kind of, being introspective, thinking about what you accomplished, what you didn't accomplish, what you want to accomplish. And whether you say the word resolution or you say you want to set some goals that you want to stay focused on for the new year and write some things down, I know for me, I just started thinking about probably about a week ago, I just kind of wrote down some things that I want to be more disciplined in. And because I know it's important. And I really like, Caterina, the journal so that you can document. I think you have to keep yourself accountable. So is it a resolution as opposed to, the disciplinary things that I want to put, again, more discipline in? I think that's where I'm finding myself right now in this particular space.
Well, one thing I want to tell y'all before we go to break, these women can talk around the word for real. They can talk you in and out of a word and say nothing. Okay, they can say nothing. That was good,
our
y'all.
Facebook
That was good.
audience.
That was good. Huh?
Our Facebook audience got a lot of resolutions. We can turn it in.
Okay, well, we're going to come back and read some of those after the break. We're going to come back to these resolutions, and I'm going to tell you what the rest of the world is saying it, even though we're not saying it on We Got Issues. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Even though here on 9:10 a.m. with the Force of Friendship, some of us are not going to set it, but we could talk about what other people could do. Maybe inspire some other people to think about what's normal. What's normal? Let me just talk a little bit about normal. Then we're going to go to the group and see what's going on Facebook. Let me tell you where a lot of people are going to be setting their New Year's resolutions. Here's what it is. Notable differences is that most of them are focusing on the financial health. There's 49% focused on financial health, and then 46% focus on improving health and wellness holistically. Many of them talk about self-care or body positivity. The majority of the U.S. adults who set a 2022 resolution plan take a different approach. Maybe they're taking you guys' approach. It's a different approach. Incorporate small changes into their daily lives throughout the year. Not on the first, but throughout the year. They're going to wave it through. So they don't have to call it resolution. They can call it waving it through their life. 58% will do that. Set goals to help build healthy habits. 49% will do that. And celebrate small victories. No big goals, just small victories. 42% along the way. Losing weight was the most common New Year's resolution set in 2021, but was the most frequently broken. So everybody who thought they were going to lose weight didn't. So they'll just start again. And 2/3 of the adults would prefer to lose weight through small daily life changes rather than fast or short-term diet plans. So who wants to read some of the things in the comments? What are they saying over there?
Michelle Matthews said that 2022, she's going to focus on saving and eliminating mortgage debt. That is a great goal if you don't want to use the word resolution.
Right.
Let's see. We have, Terry says it's her birthday, and for her, it's always a time for a fresh start. So happy birthday to you. Donna is all about the self-care. It's going to be all about self-care for her. So that is really good. I looked up, just the meaning of resolution, and honestly, I think it's something we do every day. So to say you don't do it, because it just means a firm decision to do or not to do something. So we do that all the time.
So you tell them they do it even though they want to deny that they do it, but they do a resolution all day long.
Every day. So those are just
let me tell you the top 10.
I just said those are a few
things that help people keep the resolution. Here's the top 10 things that help people. Now, and it may be just the top 10 things that help people keep their goals in the first place. Number 1, start with the specific micro goals. Don't set such big goals. Goal setting and resolutions are typically more of a marathon than a sprint, but it's easy to keep from getting overwhelmed if they're small. Number 2, this is a big one. Set resolutions for the right reasons. What's the right reason to set? It's important to make resolutions that have a deep importance to you rather than things that are expected of you or what someone else wants. That's very interesting. Maybe people who are trying to lose weight are saying it because they want it for other people versus for themselves. But you need to set it for the right reasons, and you have to set them for something that's deep and meaningful to yourself. Number 3, document your process. Get a journal like Caterina has started. It's hard to stay focused on goals if you don't see yourself making any progress. So, it talks about the accountability that Chris said. If you have something that you're accountable, and they said when you jot it down, keep it very simple and put a smiley face next to it if you've done something right. I don't know about you guys, but when I get focused on my food, I use my Fitness Pal as an app to keep track of my food, but my dang on resolution is just to write in it. Like, you can go along, you can eat, like, did I even eat anything today? Number 4, practice forgiveness, patience, and forgiveness. So when you fall off, like 60% of America is going to fall off, you should have patience to get back up and try it again. Schedule time to achieve your goals. If you schedule time to achieve goals, you can make it happen. And here's some more advice. Embrace the buddy system. Oh my God, the buddy system. Okay, so me and Caterina will be buddy systems. because we're going to set a resolution. And Crisette and Sabrina are going to be buddy systems because they're going to wave through the life of things that might or might not be important to them. So
And
get a
so,
buddy system.
Gloria.
What?
So
Yeah.
actually, it should be we should pick you or Caterina, not with each other.
But y'all don't want
That's
to.
pretty much what we did.
Sabrina, start.
I'm not saying I don't want to.
I don't want. I don't make me do it. So that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm only gonna be yours if you're gonna do it. Okay. She's like, no, don't want it. Okay, they said consider your budget. It could be the most motivational individual thing is the budget because of where people are. They said the people who focused on it in 2019, when they considered their budget and their future financial obligations, they were better. They were much better. Number 8, slow down and meditate. Which one of y'all meditate? Who meditates? Now, not prayer, but meditation. Anybody here meditate? Okay, then Caterina, we're going to start that in your journal. We're going to have somebody on the show talk about meditation. So
we went to the whole class on it.
If you know somebody who really is good at meditating other than Ken Banks, you got to tell us so we can have him on the show. Number 9, reward yourself for achievements. Reward yourself for achievement. If you're stuck, give yourself a treat by doing something small instead of waiting for a long time. And number 10, ask others to keep you accountable. Ask others outside of that to keep you accountable if you're doing it, which makes a difference. So those are some things. In the last few minutes, though, I do want to ask Sabrina and anybody else here who journals, why do you journal, Sabrina? And what do you gain because you journal?
Oh my goodness. I love to write. It empties me out. My thoughts have to go somewhere. And so I just feel better when I write and I empty my thoughts onto paper. I think for me, it's therapeutic. It just feels good. It makes me feel better. It feels like I'm accomplished. I can think more clearly. It gives me clarity when I journal. And it puts things that are most in the front of my brain, it just puts them in a place that I can do something with that thought. So it gives my thoughts a place to be and grow and go. It organizes my mind as well.
Did anybody else in your family member, anybody else in your family journal that got you into it?
Sydney is huge journal. Sydney is a bigger writer than me in terms of journaling. Yeah, huge. Yeah, but and maybe she got that from me because I've always had journals around the house, but also because writing is our thing. Maybe that it comes easy for us and we love it so much. But yeah, Sydney's a big journaler. Yeah.
Wow. And you leave your journal, so it's not secret stuff. You just leave it everywhere.
Well, and that's the difference between a journal and a diary are different. I grew up with a diary.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up with a diary, and that was very secretive. I'd be so scared that my brothers were going to find it, that my parents were going to find it. I used to hide it under the refrigerator, under the bed, and up behind the closet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That diary. Oh my goodness. I remember when I was a little girl, one of my Christmas gifts was one of my favorite gifts was a diary with a lock. That was one of the best gifts ever. That's the music. It's a break.
Well, you know what? The girlfriends are talking today. They are talking today. And tomorrow, Chris, you want to talk about your show tomorrow? I'm excited about the show tomorrow.
You guys. Yeah, I'm excited about tomorrow. We know that so much has been touched by COVID, and we're going to talk about how the arts have. So we have two special guests, Anna Glass and Robert, are going to be on tomorrow, and they're from the Dance Theater of Harlem. So we're excited to have them on as our guests.
Oh, that'll be exciting. That'll be so exciting. We'll see you tomorrow, you guys. We got issues 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9-10 a.m. the Superstation, WFDF out of Detroit. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.